The blistering sun beat down on the endless, ochre expanse of the Thar Desert. For generations, the people of the ancient city of Calibangan had told tales of the Relic of the Shifting Sands, a legendary artifact said to possess the power to control the very desert itself. It was said that the relic, lost for centuries, could conjure oases from thin air and redirect the fierce dust storms that plagued the region. To the weary inhabitants of Calibangan, a city slowly being consumed by the encroaching dunes, the relic was not a myth but a desperate hope. Zara, a young and resourceful historian, was the last person who believed the stories were more than folklore. Unlike the other elders, who had long since resigned themselves to their city's fate, Zara had dedicated her life to deciphering ancient texts and maps, meticulously piecing together clues about the relic's location. Her pursuit was met with a mix of pity and dismissal. "The sands will swallow us all, Zara," an elder named Karim would say, his voice thick with a resigned sadness. "Spend your energy on a new well, not on a phantom from the past." But Zara's resolve was fueled by a love for her home. She could not stand by and watch Calibangan disappear. One sweltering afternoon, while sifting through a crumbling manuscript, she found a breakthrough. A hidden passage, written in a long-forgotten dialect, described the relic not as a single object, but as a series of 3 interlocking pieces, each hidden in a different location. The passage also contained a riddle, a poetic set of directions to the first piece. Where the sun's last light kisses the stone serpent's head, and the wind's old song awakens the riverbed, there lies the first key, in the heart of what's dead. Zara recognized the landmarks immediately. The stone serpent was a unique, serpentine rock formation on the horizon. The riverbed referred to a long dry river that once flowed through the desert. With a newfound sense of purpose, she packed her satchel with water, food, and her tools, and set off into the merciless desert. The journey was a grueling test of her endurance. The sun baked the air, and the sand, hot as an oven, shifted under her feet. For 2 days, she trekked towards the stone serpent, her water supply dwindling with every step. When she finally reached the formation, she saw a small crevice in the rock. Pushing aside centuries of accumulated sand, she found a small, rusted iron box. Inside was the first piece of the relic, a small, exquisitely carved piece of polished obsidian. It was shaped like the eye of a storm, with intricate, swirling patterns etched into its surface. It pulsed with a faint, cool light, a feeling of immense power radiating from it. Reinvigorated, Zara consulted the manuscript for the second riddle. The sky's tear, fallen and turned to glass, guards the second key, where the silent whispers pass. The sky's tear could only be a desert glass, formed by lightning strikes. Silent whispers was a phrase used in many old texts to describe the whispers of the winds through the desolate dunes. Zara knew exactly where to go, a desolate expanse known as the Whispering Dunes, a place where the wind sculpted the sand into haunting, singing shapes. The journey was even harder this time. She battled a minor sandstorm, the stinging grit almost blinding her. But she persevered, driven by the cool, comforting pulse of the obsidian piece she carried. At the heart of the Whispering Dunes, she found a large piece of black, crystalline glass, a perfect hemisphere buried in the sand. With her pickaxe, she chipped away at the glass, and nestled within was the second piece, a crescent of polished brass, engraved with the symbol of a blooming lotus. As she held the 2 pieces together, they hummed with a low, resonant frequency, their patterns aligning perfectly. The final riddle was the most enigmatic of all. Where the city's heart rests, but its life has ceased, find the last key, where the wind's breath is released. The city's heart was a term for Calibangan's central well, the source of its original life. But the wind's breath confused her. It couldn't just mean the wind. It had to be something more. She hurried back to Calibangan, the 2 pieces of the relic now a tangible weight in her satchel, a beacon of hope she could not ignore. Upon her return, she found the city in a state of quiet despair. A major dust storm was approaching, its dark, roiling clouds visible on the horizon. The elders were preparing to abandon Calibangan, to surrender to the unforgiving desert. Zara went directly to the city's old, dry well. Its stone lip was cracked and weathered, its depths a cavern of dust and despair. "The wind's breath," she whispered to herself. Then, she noticed a small, barely perceptible draft coming from a crack in the stone. A subterranean wind tunnel. She placed the 2 pieces of the relic against the crack, and the wind seemed to rush through them, creating a melodic, resonant sound. As the sound intensified, the ground around the well began to tremble. The trembling gave way to a shift, and a hidden chamber was revealed beneath the well's floor. There, resting on a pedestal of solid rock, was the final piece of the relic, a circular piece of sandstone, engraved with the image of a great sun. It was warm to the touch. As she united all three pieces, the relic of the shifting sands came to life. A brilliant, sapphire light erupted from the relic, shooting into the sky. It met the approaching dust storm, not with force, but with a gentle calming power. The storm's roiling fury dissipated, the wind softening and the dust settling. The relic's light then turned green, and a trickle of water began to emerge from the dry well, growing steadily into a vibrant, gushing stream. A powerful, life-giving aura spread over Calibangan, the encroaching sands receding as the earth beneath the city grew firm and fertile once more. Zara became a legend in her own time. She had not only saved her city but had rediscovered a lost truth. The relic's power wasn't in brute force but in balance and harmony. It didn't fight the desert, it worked with it, bringing life from its core. The people of Calibangan learned that their salvation was not in giving up, but in seeking the lost wisdom of their ancestors, and that true strength lies not in fighting nature, but in understanding and living in harmony with it. Moral of the story: perseverance and a deep belief in one's purpose can lead to discoveries that seem impossible. True power and wisdom are often not about brute force or domination, but about finding harmony and balance with the world around us. Instead of fighting against adversity, we can seek to understand its nature and work with it to create a better future.